Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. It's dark outside because now we're getting deeper into August, and as you know, we've got this stinking rotten daylight savings time, and that makes things dark when they're not supposed to be dark. It's not supposed to be dark. At 5:32 normal time, the light, the sun should be coming out. I don't want to preach about that, because you got your daylight savings times devotees. Felicity says, hello, Ron. Hello to you. There's the Kansas City Southern Railroad. Usually pass here around 5:30. All right. Heading east to New Orleans. All right. Probably to that big switching yard in Kenner. All right. We have from 1880. Windsor, Canadian. It's now age 3 years. It used to be age 4 years, but it's Beam Suntory now, and they lowered the qualifications, the quality of it, I suppose you could say. Supremely smooth. It was $10.99. Now here's an oddball item. A lot of times Canadians tell me, I can't get that whiskey in my area. Well, I don't think anybody, Canadian, American, USA, American, anybody can get this thing in their neighborhood or their life. Heir to the throne. Look at this square bottle. Has a real cork too. It's got a crown, crossed swords. It's so royal. There's a lot of glare, on a computer screen. It's got this indention on the side where it's like a handle on the side where you can grab it. It's got cross swords in the little device up here with the crown, the royal crown, the Dominion of Canada, maple leaves, an eagle, and then more cross swords in the shield. Matured in oak casks means nothing because all Canadian whiskeys matured in oak casks. It's a law. Product of Canada. Okay. Ultra smooth blended Canadian whiskey. Well, you know what? If it's Canadian whiskey, it's got to come from Canada. And there's 2 griffins. So it's kind of fancy. And on the back, they're talking about a perfect blend. Now, perfect, right? That means it has no flaws. I did not notice that. I thought it had quite a few flaws, of Canadian whiskeys, which have been carefully distilled and then matured in oak casks. Okay, fine. Rebel Spirits, company no longer in business. How you like that? Oh, man. Okay. It's got this little plastic purple cover. Purple for royalty. Now, let's put that over on the side. So the Windsor, oh yeah, it's bragging about how great it is. Blended Canadian whiskey. It's so fabulous. Under the strict supervision of the Canadian government. All Canadian whiskey, the most expensive down to the cheapest, has to be produced under the supervision of the Canadian government. Now, how closely supervised it is, I do not know that. I know that's a pretty high regulatory country, similar to the United States. Got regulations for everything. But Canada being stricter on regulations, more socialistic, like merry old England, being in the Commonwealth of Nations, formerly known as the British Commonwealth. There's the cork. So I'm planning to do a taste challenge Saturday with another obscure Canadian whiskey. Then I can't remember the one it is. I have it over there. Then we'll start on blended Scotch Sunday. Hey, hey, hey. Poured too much. This is Windsor. I poured too much. But it's pretty close. They're both golden, so the appearance won't make a difference. I just worry about that slight. Sometimes if it's just a little bit more or less, one to the other, you can sort of pick up the you can sort of detect the weight differential. You say, not that little bit. Oh, I'll tell you what, you can. Good old whiskey days, she says. Yeah, this is just a tasting. Now, somebody was picking on me at work yesterday. At 5:30, drinking? I said, I'm not drinking, I'm tasting. It's an exercise, a scientific. He said, but then you got to drink it. I said, well, I'm not going to throw it out. But he was probably he seemed more pleased about it than irritated about it or concerned. He knows me. He knows I keep these things in check. I'm like Coolio, woo-ha. I have all of you particular people in check. All right. Now, here we go. Yes, the same old story. Meaning it smells like sweet corn. There's David driving me crazy. See, I don't contact people early in the morning. I got some friends that think that's appropriate. They say, oh, it's 4:50. Let me call somebody. No, I don't do that. Now I forgot and I mixed them up. Let's start again. See what happens when people call me. It throws me off track. I don't want to engage people in conversation at this time of the day, of the night, really. It's 2 a.m. here. Yeah, I woke up at 2:45. Well, actually, it was like 2:40. I was laying in bed. 2:30. And I just laid there and I said, 2:45, I'm getting up. So sweet corn, get that sweet corn thing. And grain, like, grain. We are familiar with grain. What grains? Mostly corn, maize if you're in Europe. Then you got rye. You can smell the rye. It's peppery. Rye, wheat, and barley malt, more than likely, yes. Okay. Same over here, but there's a little almost like a Tennessee whiskey, like a sour mash thing. Like cornbread. No, not that. Maybe sourdough. Oh, it's hard to pin down. But it's like fermented grain. When I went to the distillery in Barton 1792 distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky, and I went to the distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky, Buffalo Trace, and then I went the day before. I went to the Jack Daniel's distillery. They let you smell those kettles, where it's all cooking and then fermenting. It'll be bubbling. They said, the guy said, you think that's heat causing that? No, that's the yeast fermenting and making it bubble. I said, well, okay. But it smelled like this, like that. I don't know how you describe it. It's some of these whiskeys is sort of like if you're not smelling it, I can't adequately describe it. But grain, is there as much rye on the nose here? No, I don't think there is. It's sort of a nose full. It's a full nose. It's pungent. It make you jump back a little bit. I'm not saying it's harsh. No, it's just a full nose. I don't know. It's like not thin. All right. Some of these things you'll smell and you'll smell them and it's a thin aroma. Like this, it's like watery. There's not much there. But these two, especially the one on my right, it's like, whoa, a full olfactory attack, which doesn't indicate a bad quality, I don't think. It's just the way these smell. Okay, so sort of mild, sort of mild. And not really. But now, as you let these things rest in the glass and set and breathe, they will mellow out. You know, that rush of aroma will fade. Now, when we talked about skunky beer out of the green bottle or clear bottle, we were going on and on about that for years and years. And then Stuart Picard, Gin Riel Trail, who rarely makes videos anymore, he was like, oh, just let it sit for a minute. So he's saying, let it set for a minute, 1 minute, and it'll all go away. So I tried it, and I noticed, he's right. Let the beer set there. Those skunky fumes will dissipate. But now if something's really light damaged and skunked, like Bud Ice gets in that clear bottle, you could let the skunk whiff away, the aroma, but it'll still have that slimy mouthfeel. It really deteriorates the beer, and that's not a pleasant feeling. So when I buy Bud Ice, I always will buy it either in the cans, the pint cans, or the brown bottle. They do make a brown bottle Bud Ice, but you got to get the 18-ounce bottle. Now, why is the 18-ounce bottle brown and the other size is clear? The 40, the 32, the 22, and the 12? I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But I know that 18 ounces brown. It's as brown as the day is long. Okay, so I think I don't know. I'm not even going to try to make an initial guess. I really don't know, and I don't think there's any. And there's daylight starting to creep through. I think it's no benefit or purpose into trying to guess this early. So let me go ahead and taste it. Now my prediction is I'll recognize the Windsor because it has that like flavored whiskey taste, like a little rum, a little bit candy, sherry, like cream sherry taste, and then the Heir to the Throne is a lot of wood and charred oak, I guess. Not so much char, but wood. And then the Heir to the Throne, oh yeah, the last one is Gibson's. That's what it is. Gibson's 12 years. The Heir to the Throne is sort of like I don't know, there's just something off with it, something awry with it, something not right with it. Felicia said, I drink Bud Ice from time to time, drinking on some Fremont Dark Star Oatmeal Imperial Stout, and so far it's not half bad. Huh. Well, we don't get Fremont beers around here, but I'd like to try it. Dark Star crashes. Okay. Into the transient nightfall of diamonds. Let's go. Oh boy. I think that's the Heir to the Throne. Why? It's got that kind of very harsh, somewhat off. I don't know how you describe an off flavor, but it's like something's not right with it. And bite. Yeah. It gives you a shiver, a shudder. Whoa. I paid $15.65 for that stinking bottle. $15.65, and you know what? Do you want to know what? That was a closeout price. It was like $30 originally, and no one bought it. Apparently no one bought it. Came in a nice box. They're trying to make it look like Crown Royal, you know, the heir to the throne, the next Crown Royal. Yeah, sure. Did Old Crow makes me shudder, said Felicia. Or 10 High. Now see, I don't get that experience with either one of those. I find they're somewhat smooth. The 10 High blended bourbon and the Old Crow straight bourbon. But these, no, let's go with the Windsor. I'm saying it's Windsor. I don't know, but I assume it is. Oh, yeah. Got that rye note in the back. It's got that cream. Maybe it's not cream sherry. Maybe it's cocktail sherry in the front. I don't know. It is some kind of sherry. And maybe a little white rum, something. My nose is itching all of a sudden. Dang it. Excuse me. Would I be dying to go run out and buy a Windsor Canadian? No, I wouldn't. People had been recommending it for years. Oh, I don't hate it. Can't say I hate it. I know I talk too loud on these videos. I don't hate it, but I would just get Canadian Limited. You know what I'm saying? Because Canadian Limited, I can get a bottle for $7.49 at Walmart, and I'm not paying $10.99. I'm not paying $3.50 more for a bottle of whiskey that's no better than the one that's $7.49. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not bad, but it's so basic. Yeah, I know people buy it. Is it one of the top 20 best-selling Canadian whiskeys in America? This I can't remember. I think it is. I know Canadian Limited is pretty popular. You see it everywhere. Maxwell says, hi, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell, in the Russian Federation. When I drink whiskey, I like Jim Beam, Wild Turkey, Jack Daniels, or Crown Royal. Well, those are, you're not alone, because those are the top four, you know, I guess. I don't know if Wild Turkey is number 4, but certainly up there. You would have Jack Daniels, Crown Royal, Jim Beam. That's your top 3. Johnny Walker. Well, we know what the top ones are. And people say, well, it's all marketing. It's all marketing. No, well, no, I don't agree with that. The marketing helps. There's no doubt about it. But they're not going to be the top 5 whiskeys tasting terrible. Just like Budweiser, Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light, Michelob Ultra. They're not going to be top beers being terrible. You know, people don't drink those beers saying, oh, wow, this is horrible, but I love the marketing, so I'm going to keep drinking it. No, come on now. Budweiser is the best-selling beer in the world. Not in America, Bud Light is, but in the whole world, Budweiser. People around the world don't drink Budweiser because they hate it. You know what I'm saying? People in Sri Lanka, or people in Singapore, or people in Japan are not drinking Budweiser saying, boy, this is bad. I hate it. But those commercials really catch my attention. And I love a Clydesdale. I want to pet one, so I'm going to drink it. Come on. There's no way. It's not possible. And people will say, well, just because something's popular doesn't mean it's good. Notice at no point did I ever say that. I said that means it can't be horrible, you see, because then people wouldn't like it. So people like to twist things around. And I've had people even say, well, you said something's popular and you're saying that it's world class. Nope. Never said that. All I said was it's not horrible like people say. You know, you get people, you read some of these reviews on Beer Advocate and they'll say, Budweiser, it's horrible. It's a 0 out of 100. Come on, man. If you said something like it's kind of so-so, it's just average, fine. I don't want to start ranting and raving. This is Windsor. It's much smoother. It's smooth. They say it's supremely Isn't that what they say? Supremely smooth? Yeah. I guess it is really. There's no bite to it. Really. Now you might say, well, that means it's dull. Well, that's kind of bland, I guess. But Canadian Mist is bland. People love that stuff. It's fine. It's pleasant. Um, yeah, you can taste the alcohol in it. You got some alcohol fumes. What do you expect? It's 40% alcohol. 40% of every sip is pure grain alcohol. You know it's going to be boozy. Well, heck, but it's not unusually boozy. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have like unpleasant booze qualities, but it's there. It's whiskey now. Now this thing, oh yeah, yeah. I'm glad I bought it just because of the unique situation of it. It's so rare. It's unusual. It's strange. I can see why it didn't sell. And it's not because of the taste. It didn't sell because people don't know what it is. And you know how that goes. If people don't know what it is, they just don't buy it. I wouldn't have bought it for $30. No way. They had it on closeout. And I said, oh, well, heck, see what happens. And at first I liked it. But boy, when you put these things in competition, that's where it starts to break down. And it is broken down like a broke down palace. There's wood, but there's something, it's like a wintergreen or a mint. Spearmint, that's what it is. Now, come on. If I'm drinking Canadian whiskey, should it taste like spearmint? Like those green mints, you know, with the green stripes? I don't think it should. I'll drink Bud Light, Bud Ice, normal Budweiser. I'll drink Miller. Any beer, I just won't drink that sour. I'm going to kind of modify your comment. Sour stuff. The most sour beer I like is IPA. Well, IPAs aren't really sour. They're more like bitter. Yorn says, cheers, Ron. Cheers to you. See, to me, that's an off flavor. Like, okay, if it's rye, Canadian whiskey's famous for being rye, you know, high rye. But some people used to, not anymore, but years ago, they would call Canadian whiskey rye. Let's go drink some rye. They meant Canadian whiskey, like them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, meaning they were drinking maybe like Jack Daniels whiskey and then rye, Canadian whiskey of some sort. But that terminology sort of died away. No one says that anymore. But the spearmint, see, it shouldn't taste like that. You say, well, maybe they're using some kind of conifer tree, you know, for the wood, and not using an oak barrel. Maybe they're using a pine tree. Yeah. But of course they aren't. Because it says oak casks. I don't know. It's not terrible. I have a lot of problems with this whiskey because sometimes I just hate it and other times I think it's all right. I can't recommend it though. It's too wiggly waggly. You know what I mean? It's too all over. It shouldn't taste different every time you sip it. You know what I mean? The blend isn't good or something. Maybe they didn't blend it. I don't know. I just can't figure it out. Now the Windsor is made by Beam Suntory. You know, those people are master blenders, master concoction artists. They've been in business so long, in Suntory, you know, the Suntory people in Japan and the Beam people in America, they know what they're doing. So they bought this whiskey and this whiskey brand a long time ago, and whoever's making it, they're saying do it perfect, you know, and it's fine. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I'd say go ahead and get a bottle and try it. $10.99, there's not much downside. There's no reason even addressing Heir to the Throne because you're not going to see it anyway. It's almost like a worthless video. But I'm going to say this is Windsor. It better have a W. It does have a W. I did it. What is that, like 6 out of the last 7 taste challenges, I think? I did it. Hey, I was having a little bad run there, but I don't think it was my fault. I just think the liquors I was trying were so close to each other, it was hard to differentiate them. So Windsor has a better flavor, better aroma, better smoothness. It's more approachable, and it has a way better price. Plus, you can actually buy it. Felicia says, one whiskey I will never forget is that pure, raw, uncut stuff my dad got to drain from a truck. He had to strain out all the left charcoal in it. Yikes. This is my last day drinking beer because from Saturday I will work 11 hours every day for 10 days, says Yorn. Oh, wow, that's a lot of work. I got a busy day tomorrow. I'm not going to have any free time tomorrow. Hardly. Sounds like you're going to be busy, Yorn, says Felicia. Oh, man, I dread tomorrow. And then I got to go do something today. I mean, I just be nice to rest. This weekend, I'm not doing anything. If somebody says, come over, I must say no. I'll go to church. There is an interesting spice note to it. I think what's throwing me off with this, just like that Bellows Club whiskey, I think what's really got me off track on it is the high rye. It's really high rye relative to other Canadian whiskeys. So that rye spice is making me think of spearmint. Maybe you are a whiskey expert watching this video. You might be able to tell me if I'm right. The Bellows Club whiskey, it was almost like Jim Beam Company used to make that, the Beam Company. It was almost like they said, let's play a prank on people. Let's make it so high rye, it'll throw them for a loop. And it throws me for a loop, that club whiskey. Whoa! But they no longer make it, so it doesn't matter. It's out of production. And so is this. So, hey, I've tried the pure rye whiskeys, and they don't even seem that spicy for some reason. I don't know. I gotta delve more into that. Well, sorry, heir to the throne. I don't know what throne you thought you were going to inherit, but it ain't going to be the Canadian whiskey throne. You're not that good, not horrible, but you've lost again. You win on bottle design. You win on having the wood cork. You win on appearance. You just lose on what is most important, aroma and flavor and body and smoothness. Yorn says, that's right, but on the 23rd of August, I will go on a holiday to Ayia Napa, Cyprus for 3 weeks, so I will do fine. Oh, Cyprus. Are you going to northern Cyprus, the Turkish Republic, or are you going to Cyprus, the Greek area, you know, the Republic of Cyprus? Oh, well, that's it. So I posted a video this morning for the Lime-A-Rita, Bud Light Lime-A-Rita. Believe it or not, I had never tried that until I did that video. I'll probably never have it again, but I tried it. I said, oh, it's not so bad. It tastes like one of those prepackaged margarita things. I had unfairly judged the Bud Light Lime-A-Rita, and I was not giving it proper consideration. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't go buy it to drink, no, but I know some people that would, and I think they do a good job with it. So I will retract what I said about Bud Light Lime-A-Rita over the last 10 years. Oh, well, 7 years. It's only been on the market 7 years. Because there's probably nobody on earth that ripped it more than me. Tearing it down, ridiculing it, making fun of it, denigrating it. But then yet I had never tried it. Of course, I didn't like the concept. You know, I was saying, damn it, it's beer. If you want to drink beer, drink beer. Why can't people drink a beer that tastes like beer? Why does it have to taste like a margarita? Why does it have to taste like cherry juice or something? But you know what? That was my problem. Does it really matter? The answer is no, it doesn't matter. If people want to drink beer that tastes like cherry juice, that should be okay. If they want to drink IPAs that taste like cake batter and fruit, fine. Doesn't mean I have to drink it, and it doesn't mean I have to like it, but I don't need to be ridiculing it and being obsessed with it either. Let people drink what they want. I'm always talking about freedom, freedom, freedom. So, you know, I should back that up. All right, thanks for watching this video production. 30 minutes down, and see ya in 2 days.